I believe one of the biggest problems in our culture today is the inability or the unwillingness to forgive. People hold on to grudges like they're family heirlooms, but nothing good ever comes from it. The only thing that comes from unforgiveness is anger, bitterness, resentment, division, and regret. That's why Paul said in Ephesians 4:32, "And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as God for Christ's sake has forgiven you." It sounds fairly simple, doesn't it? And yet you and I both know that although it sounds simple, it's not necessarily easy. When someone commits a terrible offense against us, whether the hurt comes by way of words or actions, forgiveness can be terribly difficult. And yet what I've learned is that the longer we hold on to unforgiveness, the harder it becomes to let it go. Because it becomes a part of us. It becomes a part of our identity, a part of the way we see and filter the things of life. But do you know what else I've come to discover? Is that there are some things that were meant to be fast. For example, nobody likes to wait on popcorn. That's why we have microwaves. And when we go to the grocery store, we don't want to wait in line. We want to move through quickly. And at a restaurant, we want our food to come hot and fast. So for myself, I love things that are fast, whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles. Kind of like this.
Give it up for Doug Coletta. Margin of victory 0-0-0-0.
Time. Tyson Gay right alongside Usain Bolt, but here he goes, streaking away already. It's Bolt all the way, he's looking round at Gay. Watch the clock, it's goal for Bolt, and again, he's done it again. A new world record for Usain Bolt. They say lightning doesn't strike twice.
Wow, listen friends, it takes work to get that fast at something. But I wonder what would happen if we worked at the art of quick forgiveness. I wonder what would happen in our homes, our churches, even our nation, if only we would be quick on the draw when it comes to forgiveness. Again, Paul said to forgive one another as God in Christ forgave you. And this doesn't mean that there's no consequences, but it means we release it from our hands into the hands of Him who judges rightly. And it doesn't mean that we completely forget, because many times there's a scar that's left behind. But it means we release it from the forefront of our conscience so that it doesn't overtake our mind. And listen, it doesn't mean that there's no justice, but it means we exercise the same grace that has been given to us, and so that our heart remains pure. The enemy many times will entice you to anger so that you try to take revenge. But as a believer, as a Christian, you have to avoid the enemy's landmines and choose the path of forgiveness, even when it seems like the hardest thing to do. So I just wonder, how many marriages could be saved? How many family relationships could be restored? How many friendships could be rekindled? I wonder how many fights and quarrels and arguments could be avoided if only we would be quick to forgive.